What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Next Win podcast with your host, Aunt Ma, co host Justin Vaseur. And I hope you guys have been watching all of the uploads that we've been doing from Tuesdays to Fridays. It's literally almost every day because on Sundays, we release our 1 hour podcast episodes on YouTube. And Mondays is when we upload our Spotify and all the other podcast platforms.
Yep.
So I hope you guys enjoy it. Oh, also, one thing that I forget to tell you guys is that when we upload our videos from Tuesday to Fridays on YouTube, the full 1 hour comes up on that Sunday. But the start of the week is when we have this whole new podcast episode that you can catch on Spotify or any podcast platform first.
Mm-hmm.
You hear it anywhere else but YouTube first. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the exclusivity that you guys get by joining all these podcast platforms and following us there, that you get 1 full hour episode a week before anybody else. So, in today's episode, we're going to be talking about taking risks to get to that next win. And so, did you have any jobs or any businesses that you've done where you had to take that risk and you didn't know what you were doing?
Yeah, definitely.
Like what?
So one was a wedding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. That's huge.
Yeah, it was pretty big, but luckily I was like second shooter.
Okay, but at a wedding, you have like, what are they called? Bridezillas?
Yeah.
Right. And they have grooms where this is their life, their
Yeah.
memory of they've been thinking about this their entire life.
Yeah.
And they hired you who didn't know what they're going to do. Like, you had no idea how to shoot wedding stuff.
I did have the skill set in just like filming in general.
Right.
But it was my first wedding gig. And like I said, luckily I was the second shooter, so I had somebody else who was like taking lead.
Yeah.
For the wedding.
Did they know that you didn't have any?
Yeah, they
experience?
knew. Yeah,
And
they
didn't
knew.
care.
That's the weird thing is like people will see my work,
Yeah.
and a lot of my work is like conceptual and weird stuff sometimes. And they just like it, and they just decide to hire me for a wedding.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, so like sometimes I'll do maybe like a portrait that's very creative.
Yeah.
And then I'll get inquiries to do headshots for a business, and I'm like, how does that work out? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. But
People don't know that there's a difference.
yeah, there is a
in different
difference.
skill sets.
Yeah.
Like,
So-
like if they think that you're a good basketball player, you can play point guard all the way through center.
yeah.
But just like in basketball, every position has its own specialty. Same thing with being a photographer.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Some people specialize in clothes.
Yep.
Some people specialize in lifestyle.
Mhm.
And some people specialize in music videos.
Yeah. And so, yeah, for some reason they like believed in me and thought my work was good. So,
Were they right?
yeah, they were right.
Of
It
course.
was definitely something that I was nervous about.
Yeah.
Because you do have to deal with like those bridezillas, and that wedding I did deal with a bridezilla.
Really.
Yeah, and they're just like super moody.
Yeah.
And I'm just there to like, I'm like, hey, I'm just trying to capture your moments.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's no reason to be rude to me. And plus, they're spending the money
Yeah.
for me to capture these moments.
You said that to her?
No, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, I mean, there's times where I've had to explain it. Like, I'm trying to capture your best moments.
Yeah.
Let's work together on
Yeah.
this. You know what I mean? Because sometimes they'll be frustrated with either the makeup artist or whatever's going on and take out their anger on me. But yeah, you just have to like reassure them. But yeah, this wedding, it was fun. I was the second shooter. I got all like the B-roll stuff, and it ended up going really good, even though I didn't know what I was doing really.
Yeah.
Another one was food photography. I never did that before, but somebody like recommended me, and then the person reached out to me, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll shoot it. And then that one went pretty well.
So what do you have to do to really like fake it till you make it when you do these type of gigs?
Well, what I personally did was let's say if I got this gig, I studied the crap out of like other people's work. I went on YouTube to see like how do you prep for these type of shoots.
Yeah.
For the food one, I was looking up how to light these things.
Nice. So you did a legit way where it's like you actually did the research. Like I've even researched how to shoot food too. People have like sometimes a spray bottle.
Yeah.
And they spray the hamburger.
Yeah,
so it makes
there's
it
even
look like
stuff
it's
that you
fresh.
there's even stuff that you specifically have to use for that. Sometimes people use fake food,
Yeah.
or substitutes, things that look like the food.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would do my research for like that week before, and then just kind of cross my fingers and then see if things went well.
That's way better than what I did.
Really?
So, in the last episode or previously, I was talking about me buying a laundromat. Right,
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea how to run one before, but I did it and I flipped it for double the price. Right, and so with that money, I was like, "What am I gonna do? I'm gonna get tax grip. I need to buy another business." So I went back on Craigslist and I'm like, "What can I buy that's just gonna generate me money?" And so I found a liquor store. I was like, man, liquor store shouldn't be hard. It's always selling products. There's no way you're gonna lose money. And so I bought the liquor store, and I had no idea how to run one. I never ran a store by myself,
Mm-hmm.
let alone a retail store like that. And alcohol. Yeah, I used to drink a lot, but there's so many types of alcohol and
Yeah.
different things I had no idea about. And then there's like all these vendors you gotta deal with, like calling the Cheeto man out here to restock your Cheetos, all your other stuff that's you sell in a convenience store that's not beverages or snacks. So I learned so much, but I had no idea what I was doing. I bought a business with no experience, you know, $150,000 business with
That's
no
crazy.
experience. And why would I do that? I don't know. I wish I researched it like you and like figured out like what do I need to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so I definitely bit off more than I could chew.
Yeah.
And it was the biggest risk of my life. And I think that was probably the stupidest business I ever picked up.
Really?
Because not only did I not know what I was doing, it wasn't a passion, so I didn't care about scaling it. Um, I did realize that after trying to, so in a liquor store business, it never closes. Holidays, you're open because people are buying alcohol during holidays. They're barbecuing. They want to buy bottles,
Mm-hmm.
things like that. Same thing for Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's Eve. You're always open. So for 3 years, I worked 7 days a week, 365 days of the year, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. 12 a.m.
Yeah.
I didn't need to stay till like 2 a.m. And then after I close, I got to go buy inventory because sometimes a supermarket like Ralph's will sell a Hennessy bottle for $15, and that's $5 cheaper than the wholesale
Really?
manufacturer who sells it for $23. So I would just go buy it at Ralph's, things like that, and pay double tax.
Yeah.
Um, before the store opens, yeah, I would be going to the wholesalers, go to downtown in the morning, buy some Mexican candies, some toys and stuff like that, right? Buy some laundry detergents.
Mm-hmm.
And so um, after doing that, so you're working those long hours, buying stuff before the shop opens, buying stuff after the shop opens. I'm literally sleeping like 3 to 4 hours a day for 3 years. And when you hire someone for a liquor store, nobody wants to work there.
Yeah.
It's a liquor store,
Yeah.
you know? And if you think you're going to hire someone smart, you got it all wrong. Like, what smart person is going to work there?
Yeah.
So now you're dealing with, people who don't know what they're doing in their life and just have maybe zero experience.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the people you're hiring. So overall, it was like the worst experience of my life. I did make a lot of money at the time. It was probably like maybe like 8 to 12 grand a month
Yeah.
owning a liquor store, depending on how well I took care of it and how much stuff I didn't eat that month, in my own place. But yeah, it was definitely big boy money, but that was probably the biggest risk because I wasted 3 years of my life. I
Mm.
could have done something else with that
Yeah.
in buying a business. So definitely, I would, just like you, I recommend researching before you take something you don't know what to do.
I mean, I get so much anxiety just coming into those kinds of things, so I feel
Yeah.
like I have to do something.
I mean,
Even if
can you imagine when I had the laundromat? Machines would break every day, and I had
Mhm.
no idea how to fix it. But I would use YouTube and learn how to fix it.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
like I'm that guy that's like, take it and deal with it later.
Yeah.
But for you, it's almost the opposite. You made sure that you could handle it.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say made sure. It was just like it's kind of like a last minute studying for the test
Yeah.
kind of thing, and I tried to just cram everything in and then just cross my fingers. Same thing with nightclub stuff.
Yeah.
There was one time where I got hired for a nightclub photography and never done that before. Didn't even have the proper equipment at that time. So I think it was like 2 days or a day before I ended up buying like a flash, practicing in my home. Like I remember putting like, I think it was a plant or something in front of me
Yeah.
and then trying to balance the flash with the exposure of the natural light that's coming in.
Wow.
Um, and then
You're really trying to take it to the next level.
trying like different tricks and stuff to get um, like motion blur, because that's the style I was seeing at these nightclubs.
Yeah.
And then I went to the nightclub and started shooting, and I was like, okay, this is coming out kind of okay.
Yeah.
Um, and that ended up working out pretty well. But after that, I ended up moving to LA anyway. So,
How much money do you think you're making doing the nightclub stuff?
well, I think I got really lucky. I had a few friends that recommended me some gigs and that paid well, and it was like an average of like 500 to 600 bucks for the night, which was like 2 hours, 3 hours of doing photography.
I see. And you're doing it like 3 nights a week or something.
Like 2 nights a
Okay.
weekend. Yeah.
So that was like 4 grand a month, which is a pretty big step from what you were doing prior to that.
Yeah. I mean, it was just, it would be a strong couple months and then it would
Yeah.
go away, you know?
So I guess what I'm trying to get at is that uh, it sounds like it was worth the risk of not knowing what you're doing and
Oh,
just
yeah, for
learning as
sure.
you go.
Yeah. It was
So,
definitely worth the risk, you know, with the income that I brought.
so I've never seen anyone ever say, "Don't take the job," and because you can't handle it. I
Hmm.
always hear everyone say, "Just take it and figure it out."
Yeah.
Right?
And if you can, do your research prior.
Yeah. Now we've taken those risks, right? We made the good money. We learned some life lessons. But what did you actually learn through those experiences?
Just don't be afraid to take those opportunities, really.
Yeah.
Um,
I think that's major key. Um, don't be afraid is the biggest thing, right? Anything that feels uncomfortable to you, that's when you know you're gonna have some growth, right? Because
yeah,
you're
I
gonna
mean, it's
learn.
okay to feel uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's okay to feel uncomfortable and use that as a stepping stone to take yourself to the next step, I guess.
I have a few clients who want to buy a home and they never have, and so we go through the whole process, and then in the end, they get so scared, they get cold feet, and they just say, "You know what? I don't want to buy a home right now. I'm not ready," and then
Really?
like, ghosted.
Whoa.
And I'm like, man, that's what you don't want to do. Like, I get it if you have cold feet or like something's just not the right time, but don't completely shut it off. It's still
Yeah.
a learning experience.
Yeah.
Like, we still got to somehow move forward, even if it's like 2 years later,
Hmm.
But when you ghost it and you completely stop, it's like you're running away from your problems. That's probably the worst thing that you guys can do.
Yeah. What's cool about that, or what's cool about taking those opportunities too, is that it might lead you into your dream job or a dream opportunity or even dream income,
Yeah.
even. You know what I mean? Like you could, let's say you were doing photography and you took this wedding gig or nightclub gig, and now you landed a job where you're making 10K a month.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? Just for me taking that opportunity that I
Yeah.
was afraid of.
Yeah, I mean, it always opens doors for more opportunities. And I think for myself, running businesses that I had zero clue of how to run, it definitely gave me the opportunity to where I'm now versatile in doing pretty much whatever I want.
Yeah, same.
Right? Like
Yeah.
I can do anything now. All you guys see me on my vlogs and all the things that I do, and you're like, man, this guy knows how to do everything. Jacks of all trades.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because I just do it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so when I had people like our friends in the YouTube world who are like, "Hey, come join me and help me and my business grow," and I'm like, the reason why they see that is because they see that I was a business owner and I could do anything.
Yeah.
So if I can do anything for myself, I could do anything for them, for this guy, And so people see that and they'll take that as like, you know, a very valuable person.
Yeah. There's recently this lady asked me, "Oh, what do you specialize in?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can literally do whatever right now.
Yeah.
And not in a bragging way, just more of like um I've put myself in positions where I've tried this, I've tried that, I've done these things, and what's cool too is I dove into those worlds too, so I
Yeah.
understand those worlds, like whether it's like the car scene, nightclub, MMA, whatever the case may be. I'm
Yeah.
able to photograph those or take video of those scenarios or scenes, and I feel like I can make it look decent.
Yeah, I think so too. You're a really good photographer. And there's a lot of people who say they can do everything now.
Hmm.
And when I hear that, I don't judge them because obviously I know that they've experienced a lot. So I ask them, well, what is your favorite thing to do out
Yeah.
of what you've done?
Hmm.
And that will tell me what they really specialize in
Yeah.
or like what they're the best at.
Yeah.
So Um, this is a great episode, man.
Yeah.
I'm learning a lot about you, and I hope that you guys can take this into your next win. And make sure to follow us on all the podcast platforms and subscribe to us on the YouTube channels. Hit up Justin for any services. You'll see his link in the description box. Reach out to me for any real estate work, guys. And we'll see you on the next episode of the Next Win Podcast.